Hello, my silky friends. Yeah, I have a shorter intro and I'm not usually on at night anymore, right? So this is crazy. I know a lot of you will catch this on the replay, but I do want to see your comments. Please comment and let me know what you think because we are going to cover some things that I personally find quite unsettling. And, what better way to work through your trauma than to do it with other people, right? So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you some stuff that I found. And I had someone the other day put in the comments, yeah, I'm unsubscribing because you said something twice. That's just not true. And I'm like, well, you obviously don't watch this channel closely enough to know that it is speculation. We're investigating. We check out all things. I want to look at every side. So if you find something that refutes some of the stuff that I am saying or, definite proof, shoot me an email. silkyandSouthern@gmail. Let's look at it, okay? But some things, yes, they are speculation, and other things are, um, I think quite possibly true and horrifying. Okay. And I'm going to, yes, I know before you tell me, I'm very pale. I've had a stomach virus for the past 2 days where you really just want to die. Um, so I'm barely here because I promised y'all because I haven't been doing coffee talk. I promised y'all I would be here for you on Thursday. I am off today. I'll be off several more unexpected days, nights, in the next week or so because I have to use up my time. I didn't know I couldn't roll over my PTO, so I have to take it off. Oh, dadgummit. No, I'd really rather store it up. Good evening, Bonnie. How are you? Good to see you. ASMR, good to see you too. I hope I do too because I have a lot of, well, not a ton, but I do have some shopping I have to do this weekend, um, or at the latest on Monday. So, yeah, but I hope to see y'all several more times before Christmas. All right, I'm going to start with some stuff with it. This is just an interesting case, okay? This isn't horrifying. But I saw this the other day and I was like, oh my goodness, this is in my neck of the woods, meaning in my state. I Googled it and I think it's about 3 hours from me. But I saw this crime case and I thought, y'all, you true crime lovers would be interested in this one. And I'm going to share it before we get into the worldwide, oh my God news. Okay. We're going to break you in slowly. Break you in slowly. Hello, Buckeye. Good to see you. Thank you. I'm feeling a little bit better, but I will tell you this. If I have an episode, okay, if I have an episode, my camera will go to my logo, and the stream will still be on. If the stream is still on, y'all just chat and I will be back in some kind of condition, okay? Flat Earth, good to see you. Good to see ya. Butterfly, hey, how are you? I haven't talked to you in a while. Good to see you. Hope you're having a Merry Christmas. Carol, Carol, good to see ya. Good to see ya. Um, yes, everything is well except my GI system, which is still it's up for debate. Adjusted Fate, hello, how are you? Good to see you all here. All right, like I said, I'm going to start with a crime case. Now, we all know, and I'm sure YouTube is ablaze tonight with preparation for the sentencing of Richard Allen tomorrow. And I really am not going to cover that because plenty of other people are. And y'all know how I feel about that case if you've watched my channel for any length of time. And yeah, there's really no point. I will say this. I think that Francis Gull is going to give him a full 130, is it 130 years? I think she's going to give him the maximum. And that is not surprising. So I will be there for the rest of the saga, the appeals, all that stuff that we know is coming. I'm not done. I'm not done with Delphi. I'm just done with Delphi right this moment. But I do have another Daniel Berry. Hello, woo woo. I do have another crime case to talk about that I found very interesting, and it's funny. Nancy Drew. Yep. Hello, Nancy. Yep. Delphi dumpster fire. Absolutely. Um, I found another case that I actually had seen on some kind of Alabama news, and I was very intrigued. And I emailed a link to myself, but for some reason it didn't go through, and I could not remember the names of the people involved. And so I was so upset about it because I didn't know exactly how to word it to find that case. And one of you lovely people, Kathy, sent me a Facebook message and it said, "Hey, did you see this?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, this is exactly what I was going to show you." So let me go there and we're going to go through this case, y'all. It is horrifying and it is, it makes you angry. It makes me so many things, okay? Um, but let's go to this one and I'm going to go where I can see this. So I don't have to put my glasses on. Um, This is from I am not familiar with this Facebook page, but, it's true crime and news. Her name is Abby Blabby. I love it. I love it. And, okay, it says, "Here is a picture from the Fayette County, Alabama crash. He was driving 92 miles per hour in a 45. Nobody was wearing seat belts, and they weren't skid marks before there weren't. Should be there weren't skid marks before the tree. If you are unfamiliar with this case, on December 8th, Stephen Collins and his wife, Wendy Bailey, along with their 2-year-old daughter, Riley, were in his Tacoma when he went off the road and crashed into a tree. I mean, that's horrifying in itself. Stephen died the next day at UAB Hospital. Wendy remains in critical condition, and Riley was deceased at the scene. Now, horrible tragedy at Christmas, okay? And we hear these kind of stories all the time. But this is where it takes a weird, weird turn. Okay, the following day, police discovered they had a 20-month-old, Caleb, who was unaccounted for. Okay, so the 2-year-old, Riley, passed away. But then the police find out, oh, they have a 20-month-old. But where is he? So an emergent missing child investigation has opened up. Now, 3 days following the crash, Wendy's father, John Elton Bailey, who had legal custody of both of the kids, which leads me to think there was some kind of, just knowing Alabama, I'm going to say there's some kind of history of substances. I don't know that, okay? That is just speculation on my part because I live here and I know what happens in most of the child custody switching to grandparents. It is usually because of a problem of some kind. Um, but I don't know, okay? I don't know. That's just me, my opinion. Okay, so John Elton Bailey had legal custody of both of the kids. He was arrested for failing to report a missing child. Authorities believe Caleb was last seen in early September. What? This is December. And you haven't seen him since September. But neighbors state it was much further back than that since they last saw him. According to them, Stephen and Wendy explained his absence by stating he was living with family members due to ongoing health issues. However, they told family members that Caleb was living with a friend. Who's going to let your almost 2-year-old live with a friend? Not me. Not me. Nobody has seen Caleb, and the investigation is ongoing. Now, here is the crash. And like they said, there was nobody. Let me switch this up for just a second. There was nobody. I don't know where I was going with that. Anyway, there was the crash. Nobody had reported this child missing All right. And my understanding is that the grandfather lived right there close by something, and he is the one that had custody of the kids. So, what started as just a horrible, horrible, tragic accident here around the holidays turns into where is Caleb? So now the authorities are looking at and digging around, y'all. They're digging around the property. And I believe that Mr. Bailey um, has been arrested for failing to report. And now, of course, as you would assume, as I would assume, something tragic happened to that baby and they were covering it up. So now it leads to questions. Was this an accident? Going 92 and a 45, were they fighting? Were they just all hyped up? But no skid marks would suggest that it was intentional. Okay, unless it happened so fast he had no time to react at all. Or was this a planned event because they knew they were about to get caught? This is a very sus and unusual case. Um, Let me see. Hello, Cleveland Rocks. Good to have you. So, yeah, um, I don't know. I have just started scratching the surface in this case, and I feel like we're probably going to be looking at something that's ugh, not good. Okay. Not good. It sounds to me like there was an abuse, uh, whether everything that we're all assuming, okay, again, assuming that Caleb is no longer with us. If no one has seen him since before September, chances are not good. And they also said in another report that Mr. Bailey, again, that's the grandfather, he did not report injuries to the child. I guess, maybe they were non life threatening, but some kind of injuries. I don't know if that means bruising or what exactly that means. So, yeah, it was just, it's just one of those cases that make you go, hmm. So, last I have heard, as of today, they have gone back to the house. They are planning to dig around the house. They're looking, I assume, for the body of the child. All right, that is horrific. That is just horrific. And thank you, Kathy, for sending that in to me, especially when I wanted to cover it and I lost it. So we'll see what happens with that case. Aquarius, yeah, good to see ya. Um, yeah. So anyway, we're going to be looking at some things, and that's just horrifying in my area, in my state. Um, Very interesting, though. I would not be surprised if this is the kind of case that it has the potential because of the weirdness of it to be one of those things that is covered on a major station. Yeah, Buckeye, it does sound so weird. That's why I say it's very intriguing. Like, the questions are, did the neighbors notice anything? Did they not say anything? Um, the grandfather, I mean, like, why? These are all the questions that, unfortunately, I hope it doesn't turn into one of these really horrific cases that have been on court TV, but you don't know. So there you go. You heard it first. Uh, maybe you heard it first here. And that's something that I don't know. Y'all tell me if you see it, because I think has the potential to hang around. I know it does in my state. We're all horrified. But let's talk about some really horrifying news from everywhere. All right. Yeah, I have been on X. And you have to be kind of, I guess maybe because of the people I subscribe to, you can go on X and just have a good time, I assume. Um, but I have to be in the right mindset to be on X because uh, I'm going to see things that horrify me. I'm going to see things that make me very angry. And so I'm going to share all of my trauma with you. Oh, Buckeye, you did hear it somewhere? Yeah, look, it's just, I don't know why it's such an intriguing, I mean, it is. It's down the rabbit hole kind of. What? How did this even happen? All right, but we're going to go back to X because I'm going to share. Let me see. Let me get this a little bit bigger and reset for y'all because I had to reset it for that. Uh, for that. So remember, anything that you see on here, this is on my page that I have reposted. So if we're scrolling through here and you see something like, let me have a disclaimer again. Y'all know I've told you I repost things just to relook at and investigate or see what somebody's saying. Just because I reposted it doesn't mean I absolutely believe it. So don't have a breakdown. But this, okay, let me pull this up a little bit more. This is, have y'all heard? Okay, I just heard about this maybe a few days ago. The Pope is going to be opening portals on December 24th. And I'm like, okay, well, I didn't think, I'm like, I don't know, they're doing some kind of ceremony, whatever. But then as I started looking into it, I'm like, nah, I don't know. It gets a little woo woo. And let me start by saying this for anybody who thinks because I am talking about this or some of the things that we watch that I am, trying to bash another set of beliefs. I am not. Let me tell you, half of my family, probably the majority of I don't have a big family, but the majority of them live in Virginia. And so they are all Catholic, okay? I was christened Catholic. I am no longer Catholic. I'm a Protestant. I know, y'all. I know. But anyway, I am not bashing anything. However, I do, and y'all know, I bash my own religion, okay? Y'all know if call out the weird, the freaky, the crimes, the bad stuff that goes on in my own. So let me just say that as a disclaimer before y'all come at me. But anyway, this picture actually was from last year, from November 18th of 2023. But this is, I don't know why they use this picture. If this is, they're saying, preface this by saying that a portal is a gateway that connects the physical world to the spiritual world. Okay. Well, that is a little bit terrifying in itself. But let's see. Okay. So I'm going to kind of look at all of the things about this. And I'm like, my first question is, why are we opening portals? So some people are saying these portals are just doors. It's just another word for door, which we know it means that. But I think just the very essence of the word portal has a connotation of something metaphysical. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so now this is according, okay, some of y'all love Trump, some of you hate him. This is by Ivanka Trump. Ivanka says, that it says it's official, that it is in the Vatican. Now, let me just say this. I have heard this from numerous sources, all right? If you go down the rabbit hole. It says the Vatican holds the most significant initiations of members of Masonic lodges and secret satanic societies take place. At the same time, the initiates take an oath of service to the New World Order and the most secret rituals. I'm taking out a few words just to be friendly, okay, on the platform. The most secret rituals are also held there by the high priest of the forces of darkness with the sacrifice of people, okay? Now, let me say this. Let me go back. I have heard this for years from many people, okay, that there are things that happen there. I don't know, okay? And again, I don't know. I cannot say I have seen it with my own eyes. So therefore, it is speculation. but it has been reported many, many, many times, especially with when it comes to Masonic rites and rituals. And we know, if you remember, about I don't know, almost 2 years ago, I posted um, a video that was actually a documentary, parts of it where it talks about how um, Masons like to use Catholic churches and such because and people like to use Masonic lodges for the same reason of the secrecy. You can't get in. People know they can't get in. Whatever. I do have some. I do have some. I don't know how to say this gently. I do have some knowledge of things that happen in churches. Okay, that are not good. That are not godly. Oh, okay, Buckeye. The missing Alabama child story was reported in USA Today. Wow. Wow. See, yeah, it's going to get around. Okay, so I'm thinking, all right, the backstory on this is that 2025 is for the Catholic Church, whatever the Pope, he is like a world religious leader. Um, he says 2025 is the year of Jubilee. Now, if you don't know, I'll give you a tiny bit of what Jubilee means in the Jewish culture. In the Jewish culture, every 50 years is a Jubilee. So every land, like if you had family land, property, whatever that you sold, if you sold it in year 49, you would have to wait 50 years for it to be redeemed back to you. And like if you sell it when it's almost time for Jubilee, like you probably can't get very much for it because in that year, whatever property that your family lands, wealth that your family held, it goes back to you. So all your debts are cleared. Everything is the year of Jubilee. So it's really a big deal, and it was definitely a big deal in the Old Testament. So the Vatican is saying 2025 is a year of Jubilee. And because of that, they're going to open these portals. They're going to do 5, okay? This gets a little problematic, and this is where we're going to go down the rabbit hole, okay? So hold on to your britches. Hello, Don McKenzie. Good to see ya. Um, yeah, we're going to go down the rabbit hole. So have fun. Follow the white rabbit. Okay, let me get back to up here. Now, also, let's see. This guy, I'm trying to think. I think he's about 3 minutes in. Okay. Let's start about right here. He's talking about, and this was another post.
And so what he did, and I'll be honest, I tried to do this myself. I wanted to go in and find the 5 points, but I didn't really. I wasn't able to figure out how to put points on a map like 5 points and go from line to line. It would just go based on driving or based on, uh, you know, different routes that people would take to go from place to place, but I didn't get it to where I could put the 5 points onto the map. And so I just set it aside and decided that I would wait on this. I really wanted to do this, but I am very thankful that this brother went ahead and did this.
Let me move it up.
I put the coordinates for those places in Google Maps and tilted the map, and lo and behold, if you connect those 5 places with one another, you get the sigil of Lucifer.
Okay.
No.
Let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to go way, way down here. And we're going to be going back because we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Okay. We're not just talking about this. We're going to get into the drones and some other information that I have for you. Oh, by the way, this is the wreck of the parents of the Alabama child. Just if you, it's on here if you want to take a look at it. Let's see. There we go. There we go. So now these are the places that the portals are going to be open. Okay. There are different basilicas, which those are churches. And let me see. There we go. If you look at this, these are the coordinates. Okay. You've got, so those of you who like to map stuff, go ahead, check it out. I'm not a good mapper. Okay. I don't map well. uh, okay. It's going to be at St. Peter's Basilica, Roman prison, Rebibia. I don't know. I could be saying that all wrong. Basilica St. John Lateran, Basilica St. Mary Major, and Basilica of St. Paul. Now, let's go back up because the thing of it is, and when you look at this, okay, a sigil is very important in a lot of things, and it's definitely used in the occultic world, okay? I've seen a lot of movies about sigils, but they're saying if you take this and you turn it around, yeah, you get this shape down here. That is a little terrifying. This sign right here on the bottom, let me pull it up some. This sign right here is the sigil of Lucifer. Okay. Now, what is also very disturbing, I'm going to go back up here to the top, is that they are opening now. The Pope says he's opening a door to uh the it is something about prisoners and giving prisoners hope and all this kind of stuff, and it's very nice. Okay, I get it. But also they are opening doors that have never been opened. I want to tell you something about a door of Lucifer, something else. It's like, okay, I heard this and I first started thinking, that's a little weird. Like, why we opening portals? And then they're like, oh, well, it's just, he does this. The last time a portal was closed was in what did they say, 2016? And they seal it up, like they put sheetrock on it, like you can't access it. So, at first I thought, okay, well, he's doing a ceremony on Christmas Eve and it's some kind of thing for prisoners. I wasn't necessarily looking for bad things, okay? Not necessarily. Um, Hi Watha, hello, good to see ya. Sprightly Sprite, good to see you. What's cooking? Oh, we're going down rabbit holes tonight. We are going down rabbit holes. Um, Let me see. What's he saying now? Okay. Yeah, Pope Francis, and I can't play all. I don't want to get a copyright strike, but you can see this from the New York Post that Pope Francis is opening these 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve for a ritual that's never been done before. Like, don't you think we got enough problems? Like, do we really want to be opening all these portals, things that have never been done before? I'm not so good with that. Um, but now this is from Sister Sophia Maya, sister Maya, sister, and she says, "Are we tracking with information regarding the Pope and the Vatican opening up 5?" She calls them 5 energy portals. Okay, it's one thing to open a physical door in the Vatican or some of these basilicas. That is one thing. But are we talking about just physical doors? You're going to open the door as a ritual, or just as a statement of, yes, let's give hope to the prisoners? Is that what we're doing, or are we really opening energy portals? I mean, come on, we've already got drones in the sky and all this other kind of stuff. So she says it's starting in or around 1221 through 1224. Drones, plasmoids, and Pope. Oh my. Distractions amuck. What's next? Oh wait, what? She says this is above the Pentagon. Can y'all see this? This is literally above. I'm going to turn the sound on. All right, let me watch that again.
The fuck is this shit?
Oh, sorry. I didn't have the sound on when I was watching it. Excuse the language. So sorry. But literally, can these things be going
Fuck is
around the
that?
Pentagon? You're gonna drone flight the Pentagon, and the
It's above the
Pentagon
Pentagon.
is they're not gonna be shot down? Hey, okay. Something is amok. Now, all right, I'm going to let you hear. She is also from TikTok. Who is this? What's her name? Maybe we can see it in a minute. All right, I'm going to back this up and play this one.
So who all is ready for the Pope to open up 5 portals? Pope Francis will commence a centuries-long Catholic tradition on Christmas Eve and introduce a first-time historical addition to the holy ritual. Starting on December 24th, the Pontiff will open a series of 5 holy doors throughout the Vatican, including St. Peter's Basilica, plus Rome's 3 other basilicas, to commence next year's Catholic Church Jubilee. So the door at St. Peter's was actually sealed shut back in 2016, but on this past December 2nd, those were ripped down to get ready for the door opening as the part of rite of recognition. But this is what's different in the new tradition. After the Christmas Eve ritual, Pope Francis will open a symbolic door inside the Roman prison Rebibiba on December 26th, the feast of St. Stephen. It will be the first time a pope has opened a holy door at a prison. Aren't you curious what's going to come out of that door, seen or unseen? Pope Francis goes on to say, I think of prisoners who, deprived of their freedom daily, feel the harshness of detention and its restrictions, lack of affection, and more than a few cases, lack of respect. In order to offer prisoners a concrete sign of closeness, I would myself like to open a holy door in a prison as a sign inviting prisoners to look to the future with hope and renewed sense of confidence. I mean, that sounds nice, right? That's all that's going to happen, right? Nothing's going to be unleashed into the world. I guess we'll find out.
Okay, that's my question though. You know, is it just a dead ritual, or what's going to come through that door? And I mean, we wouldn't see it if it's bad. But why? Why open a door that has never been opened? Why are we doing this, Vatican? Why are we doing this? What's coming through the door? And you have to wonder in all of this with the drones and the portals and all this, what's CERN doing? What is CERN doing right now? We don't know. We don't know. Is that what they're going to say? I mean, is the Pope like, look, I'm just not good with this. I think, doors need to be shut for a reason. That's why I shut my doors, so nothing can walk inside, right? Watha says, I just followed you on X so I can check this. Hey, hi, Watha. You're going to see a lot of things that I repost that I cannot talk about on here. There is absolutely no way to talk about it on YouTube and not get demonetized or the only place I could talk about it would be on Rumble, which I do not have a Rumble account at this time. I'm thinking about it though, or Patreon. But for right now, I'm just leaving some things unsaid, but I can repost anything on X, right? Sprightly Sprite, DoorDash. I hope these demons aren't going to be door dashing through the door. I'm just saying. It was just a small thing when I found it, and then the more I heard about it, the more unsettled I got because I was like, wait a second. Why? What are we doing? And let me look at this. Then when you start really looking and then you see and you map out the places and you have a sigil of Lucifer, I'm like, I'm out. Peace out. What are you doing? Just shut the door. Keep out the devil. Y'all know that song? That's an old one. Shut the door. Keep out the devil. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Is it just like I don't know. it just freaks me out. I'm very freaked out by ritualistic stuff. Okay, there's reasons for that, but any kind of stuff, religious stuff that gets into highly ritualistic things, it freaks me out. Even though, like I said, one whole side of my family are nothing but Catholics, and I have been to mass many, 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 many times. I even went to Catholic school in the second grade. So I am very familiar. It shouldn't freak me out, but it does, y'all. It does. I don't like the ritualistic stuff. Like, no. Um, but that's just one rabbit hole. Let me go back. Let's see. I will tell y'all this. This says, speaking of orbs and portals and all that, here is some drone footage from Atlanta. Look, this is crazy. They're everywhere now, and I repost sometimes just because I've got one repost from the Philippines. They've been seen in Germany, and like yeah. So what the heck? So when we talked the other night, we talked about potentially they're looking for what they say is some missing um radioactive or nuclear material, I think. They said they were looking for it. That was one hypothesis of the drones are searching for something. They're our drones. But if they were looking for something in New York or New Jersey, why are the drones over here in Atlanta? Why are they overseas? What the heck? What the heck, y'all? I'm not comfortable with this. And I will tell you this, if everything goes well, okay, if everything goes well, I'm going to be talking to if you remember in our chat the other night, Jay was in our chat and he has had a encounter of the third kind, okay? His personal story, and I said I would love to let him tell it. So I think we're going to try to do that Saturday night if everything goes okay. I was supposed to have a uh, interview tonight with someone from Western North Carolina, and I think there's been like a little bit of communication problems, but we're probably going to uh, tape that one, record that one, and then I'll play it live for you so we can answer questions. Um, okay. Oh, let's see. Let's go past so many things. Wait a second. This is just coming up on my feed. So I don't know. Anything could be on there. I'm telling y'all. Be scared. Be scared if you follow my ex. Uh, this is very interesting. I cannot talk about this at all on this platform. But if you are not familiar with 4chan, this is where this comes from, and you'll have to go to my ex to find it, unless you just want to go to Illuminati Bot. Okay, 4chan, this is all this stuff was posted in 2019. It is horrifying. I mean, it's already happened, okay? It's already happened. Okay, so I thought this was interesting. If you didn't think that was, bad enough, okay? We know we got the drones. We got portals of what kind? We don't know. What's coming up? What are they opening the door for? That's very disturbing. Then we have this. Okay? Now this guy, this is attorney Tom Rentz, and this is what he told the Pennsylvania Senate, that the Gates Foundation is funding all kinds of mosquito genetic engineering. And there's a lot of talk about using mosquitoes and mosquito bites to vaccinate certain populations. So if you don't want to take a vaccine, but you get bit by one of these mosquitoes, you are vaccinated. All right. He says, I don't have proof yet that it is viable, but I know they're working on it. he says, so I'm not assuming that the mosquitoes that he's working on in Florida are vaccinating anyone at this point. I'm assuming that I have absolutely I can't say this word incontrovertible. There is that right? Incontrovertible evidence that they are working on making sure that they can inject you with some kind of virus. Now, I mean, here's the thing. All right? We're not talking about, Billy Bob sitting, out at the pond, you know, half lit talking about genetically engineered mosquitoes who can, we already know they spread viruses, but vaccinate. Like, we're talking about an attorney talking to the Pennsylvania Senate that this is what he believes from what he has found out, that this is what they're working on. Now that is horrifying. It's horrifying because we have a lot of mosquitoes here in Alabama. Lots. I mean, it's a plague in the summertime. Um, and I'm like, what? Now we can't even go outside. I mean, I don't know. What do y'all think? Now I'm gonna let you hear this. Let me go back to where I can see what you're saying. Hello, Cindy. You're listening in the background. All right. Uh, let's see. Um, hey, Yoli. You know what, Yoli? I found an article and I can't find it again. It was another horrific case about body parts, and I just saw that this morning. And I'm like, oh, that is something for me and Yoli to talk about. Always, when I think of you, I think of body parts. Y'all just have to know. Y'all just had to be there. Um, Sprightly Sprite says demons are like dogs, can be frightful, but essentially they want to be controlled. Enoch knew how to deal with them. Solomon too, I guess. I deal with them by get away from me. That is how I deal with them. But that's just me, Sprightly Sprite. Uh, let's see. ASMR says, I've been thinking about the mosquitoes for several years. I mean, I have thought about it. But like, it's just kind of like one of those horrible thoughts that you think, not like anybody's really working on this, but are they? Are they? Um, Now, if you don't think that's bad, let's look at this. I'm going to put the volume on. This is talking about, and this is on C SPAN, y'all. This is on C SPAN. I was absolutely horrified. Um, so let me run this back to the beginning. It's only, let's see, it's not that long. It's 2 minutes and 18 seconds.
The FDA has a position that food coloring like 40 are safe for kids' ingestion. Do both of you stand behind that, Dr. Caleb?
I'm going to refer that to Mr. Jones.
Okay.
We have not evaluated Red 40 in over a decade. Over a decade ago,
We have not.
We have not. We at FDA we have not evaluated the safety of Red 40 in over a decade. So over a decade, that was the conclusion that FDA made.
But we have evaluated. We are in the process of evaluating Red 3, and you may want to comment on that.
Well,
right.
let me say this. Red 3 has been known to cause cancer in cosmetics, but we still allow it to be put in our food. I don't understand that. Go ahead.
Okay, let me stop right
Red
here
3,
for just a second. If y'all do not know who this is Tommy Tuberville, who years ago, it's been quite a few years now. Actually, he looks about the same, though. He really doesn't look like he's changed at all. Tommy Tuberville was one of a very good coach for Auburn, who, you see my Alabama shirt, Roll Tide? Alabama's arch nemesis in this state. The biggest rivalry we have is with Auburn, and Tommy Tuberville was a coach there for several years. I mean, honestly, he did a great job. I hated him. Oh my God, I couldn't stand to see him. But he has recently taken up a new career, and that is in politics. And I have to say this, I have never loved Tommy Tuberville more than I do today. And this is one of the reasons why I think he's absolutely great at this.
We have a petition in front of us to revoke the authorization for it, and we are hopeful that within the next few weeks we will be acting on that petition, and a decision should be forthcoming.
Tell us that process. How does that work? The timeline, if we know something's deadly for anybody that ingests it, how do we continue to just study that and not say, hey, enough's enough?
So Red 3 presents an interesting example for us. It is actually known to be cancer in laboratory animals, rats, but the scientific consensus is that the mechanism of carcinogenicity in rats is not applicable in humans. However,
I beg to differ. If you eat rat poison, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to pass away just like the rat does. So you're telling me, we don't know if it has the same effect in humans. We're putting it in the food. Yeah, this red dye and this yellow dye. Yeah, we know it's a carcinogen, but we're just going to study it some more, not take it off the market, study it, and determine whether it is bad or not. I mean, this guy, Mr. Jones, he looks like a combination of he might be wetting his pants a little bit, trying to answer these questions and pulling answers out of the same place. But whatever, Mr. Jones, do continue.
Under the FFDCA, which is the law that we implement, and any chemical that is shown to be carcinogenic in animals or humans, or should I say humans or animals, cannot be authorized by FDA. It's called the Delaney Clause. And so even though we don't believe there is a risk to humans under the Delaney Clause of the FFDCA, red dye, because it is known to cause cancer in laboratory animals, should not be authorized. And so that is what has been challenged FDA for many years, is how to manage around the Delaney Clause, where you have a scenario where, although there may be cancer evidence in animals, there is also evidence that is not harmful to humans.
Sponsored by the people who sell it, right? Big Pharma. Y'all all know how I feel about that, right? Let me go back and see what y'all are saying. Okay. California governor just declared an emergency because of bird flu. In between the drones and bird flu, I'll just stay home. Yeah, I am starting to see that, Yoli. I saw several. I didn't repost everything on X. I don't think I reposted anything about what is it, H5N1 bird flu, because I wanted more information. All right, it's one of those things. There are so many opinions, and I don't want to get off far into the tinfoil hat arena until I know I can. Does that make sense? Until I hear enough people who have credentials who can tell me the truth, then I will, say, okay, all right, this is very possible. Samantha, hello, Samantha. Bird flu only contaminates humans if you don't cook before you consume. Okay, so don't be eating, raw birds. How about that? Uh, no raw chicken. No. The next thing is going to be the drone flu. Yeah, yeah. Well, I have seen on X. I don't know if I reposted or not. Several people saying that they see the drones emitting something. That something is coming out like a substance of some kind, and that potentially I heard another commentator that said in a certain area where they saw this happening, excuse me, I have to hiccup, but that people are getting sick. Now, whether that's bird flu, whether that has to do with the drones, I don't know if there is a good coordination between there. But here we go. right here you see in Congress the arguments like, why are we using these things? Well, the problem is, people, that we have been allowing these things in our food for decades. Decades. How long was that one? What one was it? It was red something. They used it for years in M&Ms and all kind of stuff, which is why, if you notice, it's been quite a few years ago that red M&Ms changed color a little bit. They weren't as red as they used to be because they couldn't use that red dye because eventually they're like, yeah, this does cause cancer. Well, you know what? You knew that. Come on, you knew that long before. So is this, you have to ask yourself, the powers that be, remember the Georgia Guidestones and all this kind of stuff, they all say the earth is overpopulated. We've all heard and seen, if you've been down the rabbit hole at all, that these big powers are calling for depopulation, not wiping everybody out, but basically we've got too many people. So is it possible that they think, okay, if we put these kind of things in the food, we know so many percent of the people are going to die off from cancer? And here's what's sus. If you want something to look up and just be horrified at, just look up, and I would say maybe don't even use Google. Maybe. I don't know. You could probably still find some stuff on Google. Use an alt browser like Brave and look up things, substances that are banned from foods in other countries that the US allows. And you will see so many carcinogens that we allow. It's perfectly fine. Nobody's even talking about it. We allow them in our foods, and the other countries have banned them and even banned our products produced here because they know it causes cancer and they try to protect their people. So, what the heck, US? What are you doing? What are you doing? Um, what? Beer virus? What? I've never. Are you? Is that a joke? Because it's. I never know with you, Samantha. You know, I'm so gullible. I'm like, I know you're smart. I'm like, what's? Are we kidding here? Uh, strange drones are, yeah, spraying stuff. Human population growth is actually on a decline. Yes, it is. It absolutely is. Um, and here's the thing. I hope, I've heard RFK Jr. talk about wanting to revamp the health system and the food, all this kind of stuff. I'm hoping that's the truth. I don't believe anybody. Oh, beer virus. Okay, I get it. I get it. Yes, the beer. That's very good. Thank you. That is a good way to say that. I've wondered how do you say that? I've heard so many people call it other things because you can't. If y'all didn't know, you cannot say that word. You will get in trouble for saying that word. Um, but yeah, 9.0 is making its rounds. Yeah, uh, there is. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. But you're absolutely right, Samantha. All right, I'm gonna go on down. All right. This is. I started listening to some of the. How long is this? Is really long. Let me see. I think I started.
Due to their existing relatives.
Uh,
Following 7 years after.
okay. This is. I'm just gonna play you a little bit of this just to pique your interest, maybe a minute or so. Because I would say I have not even watched the whole thing. It's 15 minutes long. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, but I thought this is strange. Reagan, remember President Reagan? What he was talking about. I He's way more political, like it like look, I think we missed a lot. I think we missed a lot because we liked him. I can't say most of this, but This is, you can read it up here and kind of see. They talk about Project Skybeam, a global hologram, a fake UFO invasion. But I was literally just having this discussion, something similar, with my daughter this morning. So I'm going to let you hear just a little bit of what Reagan says.
Yet needed be so. Cannot swords be turned to plowshares? Can we and all nations not live in peace? In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
My name is Joseph Spencer. From May 1970 to October 1997, I served the United States government as a top secret operative, but not in a category that is commonly known or understood. I was known as a man in black. Following 7 years acting as a counterintelligence agent for the CIA, I was recruited for a new assignment that entailed working within above top secret operations. I was aware of the black budget projects, but never knew the context of them due to their high level of secrecy. Even the president was denied access to their inner workings. Annually, billions of dollars are poured into black projects, which operate without any supervision or intrusion. They have full autonomy. This transition in my life happened in 1970. The senior black project director was William T. Latham, who had worked under CIA Executive Director Richard Schlesinger. Latham stated that I was the perfect candidate for my new position. I was a foster child, and I had no connections to existing relatives. I had no friends or social life. It was easy for them to erase my past and provide me with a new identity.
Okay, this was horrifying to me, y'all, because, you know, have y'all ever watched Men in Black, Men in Black 2? I think I've watched all of them. I found them hilarious. But even watching MIB, I even at that point wondered how much truth is there to this that they are now poking fun of, because I'm not stupid. They're just going to make it so common that people don't believe it. So all the people who say, and there are many people who say they've been visited by Men in Black, I'm like, was the point of that whole production to make us laugh when people have some kind of encounter or some kind of paranormal event or a government something? Is that, and then they were visited by the Men in Black, basically saying, "Don't tell anybody, don't speak of this," you know? I had to wonder, okay? But that's just me. That's the way my mind goes. Y'all know. Y'all know. And the reason I played this, and I really want to watch the whole thing. I bet it's really good. If y'all want to watch it, I'll play it. Um, let's see. This, it's true, but not. It came out before now. This is Dr. Stephen Greer, and y'all were mentioning him in the chat the other day. I reposted this because I want to read it. This is talking about his dead man's trigger, and it starts out by saying, if you're reading this, then I'm either missing or unalive. But it was in 2021 that it was released. He is still with us. Okay, but let's watch this one. Hold on just a second. Let me catch up with what y'all are saying. Samantha, you're hysterical. The beer virus 9.0 explains people wearing face diapers again. Look, I didn't wear face diapers. My daughter thought I was nuts, and I'm like, nope, nope. It's called herd. What is the word? Herd immunity. It's called herd immunity. You have to be exposed. she thought I was a lunatic. But I didn't, unless I absolutely could not get in somewhere that I had to go. I did not wear a face diaper either, and lived to tell about it, y'all. Um, okay, so several people mentioned Stephen Greer the other night when we were talking about the UFOs and stuff, the drones. So I found this and I thought this is quite interesting. I don't know if we'll listen to the whole thing, but we'll listen to a portion of it. Oh, I take that back. I can only play little bits at a time, and I have to scooch it around and interrupt because I will get a strike for this one. ASMR says, I think that's why they've always said people that believe in aliens and things like that are tinfoil hat wearers, so no one will take them seriously because it's true. Yeah, somebody gave a good definition of a conspiracy theorist and a realist. They said the conspiracy theorist knows what's happening 6 months before the realist does. I would say it's more than 6 months, but that's very true. I talked about that the other day. Most of the things that even 10 years ago, we, you know, people thought, oh, you are completely off your rocker. That is just a conspiracy. Like, where's your tinfoil hat? I had many friends and relatives look at me like I had 3 heads. Now it's common knowledge. It's common knowledge, y'all. Things like your cell phone is spying on you. No. Well, we all know it's true now. So, yes, I did refuse the face diaper. I sure did. I refused everything. It was only by the grace of God because I work in the health field. Y'all know I'm a nurse, and it was grace that I was able to do that and maintain my job. Okay, uh, yeah. So it just worked out. So it was so God orchestrated that I was able to do that. But anyway, all right. But let's hear what Stephen Greer has to say. Let's see. I think I was at about 2. Where was I? Hold on. Let me scan this just a little bit. I think it was about 2 minutes. I don't know. Let me see what he's saying.
You're saying that we have the technology to shoot ET craft, not of this planet, out of the air, and we are reverse engineering those aircraft.
Okay. Basically, he is saying yes. I think I can be okay on what he says.
9 years, and is very senior and has all the evidence, and they'll be releasing the evidence and the information. Now, this creates a dynamic because it's happening before the inauguration. They plan to do it sometime between now and early January. And I've been working with these men for about 19 months, and they're serious, and they have the goods. They can prove what they're stating, but they're also going to unmask themselves. They will come forward, the name, rank, serial number, and the whole history of this, including the illegal nature of some of these programs, which we don't have time to go into, but they'll.
Okay. The reason I played the other video is, remember they were talking about, it wasn't black ops, it was black programs or something, CIA, something like that they were talking about in the video. And this is confirmed by Stephen Greer. I'm going to let him talk a little bit more. Sorry, I have to keep breaking it up, but we want to keep this okay.
Curl your toes. Some of the stuff that's been going on is quite illegal and very dangerous and horrible. But the technologies. Okay.
And so at some point, this guy, the interviewer, he wants to know. He says, I want to know about the things that'll curl your toes. And let's see if I can't remember exactly where that's at. Let's see.
Event during a rescue mission after the Indonesian earthquake in 2009. And he came across a platform, a man-made object about 300 feet around that was manned by covert human operators who were American, and they had boxed up and crated up humans that they were trafficking that had oxygen tanks on this tank, and they were being moved to a black site for various types of human experimentation and use.
Okay. I'm going to cut it right there. Okay. Is that not horrifying? I mean, we hear rumors. We hear rumors just like about, P. Diddy and the tunnels and the stuff that he has been accused of. And now you have somebody like Stephen Greer saying, yeah, this actually is. And he says that these people are going to unmask themselves and they're going to say what they've been a part of. We'll see. We'll see if this happens. They're like between now and the early part of January, before the inauguration, they're going to come clean. I haven't seen anybody come clean in the government ever. Maybe ever. I mean, come on, let's talk about it. Never. But let me see what y'all are saying. Hi, Joey. Good to see you. I'm gonna do a couple of shows at night in the next few weeks. So I know you were saying you couldn't join in the day. So good. Yes, Samantha. Any health professional knows that breathing your own carbon dioxide makes you sick. Absolutely. The only time I wear a mask is if I am trying to keep people from getting what I've got. If I have the flu, if I'm sick, I wear a mask to keep it contained to me, to protect other people, not to prevent. It's not going to prevent it. It's not going to whatever. And those kind of diapers, they weren't going to work anyway. They're only a N35 is going to work. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I think my plan, y'all, just to let you know, if I can get my life together, I'm going to go live on the 23rd. I will this weekend too. I'm not sure. I know Sunday night I will. And also on Monday night. And then probably I'm off the 30th and 31st unless something changes at work. And so I will probably go live one or both of those nights. Yeah. Politicians and celebs coming clean will not happen. There's not enough holy water and bleach. I agree. But you have to think about this is what Stephen Greer is saying. Are they going to? Oh my gosh, how far down the rabbit hole do you want to go? All right, y'all want to go way down the rabbit hole? But what if they just gave us enough transparency and truth and openness and exposure to make us trust them again? Okay, to make us trust them. And then once they gain your trust, because now they're being all transparent, they continue to pull the wool over your eyes, right? I'm just saying, I trust no one, y'all. I'm not kidding you. Trust no one. Okay, this was by Nick Sorter. It says the FAA has just banned drones over large portions of New Jersey, threatening deadly force over imminent security threats. What took so long, and why now? Yeah. What took so long? It's insanity. Oh, here's the one in the Philippines. Look at these are just like kind of sitting in place, all in formation, isn't that? And why the Philippines? Okay, why the Philippines? I don't know. Oh, I will say this though. I'm not talking Delphi tonight, but I'm going to show you this. I found this today. Let me see if you can see it the way it's set up here. Maybe not. But this is from a news report. And it's talking about going back to 2017, where they said, and this is from a news something called Alive, Indiana police are asking for the public's help identifying a man captured by a trail camera near the site where the bodies of Libby and Abby were found earlier this week. Interesting. Yeah, if you want to read that. Okay, this is in Newburgh, New York. It also just happened at Asheville, North Carolina. But it says okay. Is this due to drones or orbs? Are they testing our infrastructure for some upcoming event? The lights do not always flash. I go to Walmart all the time and they never flash like this. Yeah, I unfortunately go to Walmart as well. Yeah, the lights don't do that. So she's asking, like, is this part of the drone craze? I don't know. All right, let's look at some more horrifying news. Who is this by? I probably can't play this whole thing, but you can read it as we're talking about it. BlackRock. If you don't know who BlackRock is, stay away from BlackRock, okay? BlackRock has signed a $90 million deal for lithium in the city hardest hit by the hurricane. Well, would you just look at that? Would you look at that? Okay. So BlackRock, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I have to say that. This is my opinion. BlackRock is one of the most evil entities. They own so much, they control so much more than you think they do. So now they have signed a $90 million deal for the lithium in the city, and this is in North Carolina, that was hardest hit by the hurricane. Oh, but it was just a lucky strike, right? That land came up for grabs. Some people have left. Some people are sticking it out. Y'all know. Again, I'm trying to get with Jennifer, and she lives in Western North Carolina. We're going to do a podcast about that. But it was very quickly brought to the attention of people that those strangely hit areas by the hurricane, where hurricanes never come that far inland, strangely enough, the dams broke, and they just broke one after another. It wasn't just the hurricanes, y'all. That's what people don't understand. Yes, the hurricanes caused a lot of stuff. It caused swell, and that water level rising, but it was the dams breaking. You had more than one dam that just broke. Well, that flooded out entire areas. Well, how fortunate that those people were living in a place that was worth so much money. The lithium under the ground that is so needed for batteries and for computers and for all kind of stuff, for Teslas, you got to have lithium, right? Wow. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But guess what? For those people in North Carolina, they are paying them $2,500. Like, okay, your house is gone, or beyond repair. The roads are washed out. This is not even a town anymore. I tell you what, even though you've got a mortgage out the wazoo, we're going to give you $2,500. You just sign it over to us. And y'all don't think that's sus? Because I do. I think that's very sus. And so, yeah. So here you go. BlackRock has signed a $90 million deal for the lithium. Strangely enough, it was in the hardest hit area. Is this just coincidence? Is it fortune? Well, not for the people that live there. Okay? I am so upset by what's happening in the Carolinas and in parts of Georgia and stuff. There are no words to explain how upset I am for these people and the government's lack of response and lack of coverage. It is definitely crimes against humanity. And how people can sleep at night knowing that this is still going on in North Carolina, I have no idea. FEMA, government, how do you sleep at night knowing that people are out there freezing in tents in the snow because they refuse to give up their land? So, what is BlackRock going to do when the people, they really need this piece of property, this farm? What's going to happen to these people? Because we need to keep our eyeballs on this. What's going to happen to these people when they say, no, you can't have my land? No, I'm not selling. No, no. What's going to happen to these people? I'm going to wait and find out. Oh, this might be it, Yoli. Are you still here, Yoli? I haven't watched all of this either. But this is, they're talking about the term brain dead is a lie. Now, I don't know. I've never heard this. So we're going to listen to this guy.
Never going to get it. Brain death.
I told you we're going
Brain
deep
death
into the rabbit holes.
is a lie. So people don't even realize it's a lie anymore. But it's been a lie from the beginning, continues to be a lie. They invented brain death mainly to get organs, but then also so they don't waste money on treating people who aren't ever going to get a job, who are just going to live and not die. And so to see what brain death is, it's primarily a way to get organs. Cannot get any organs from a cadaver. Every organ that's transplanted is a healthy organ, and you can only get healthy organs from living persons. You cannot get any organs for transplant from a cadaver. The things I'm telling you is that you are not allowed to hear, because if you hear it, you will be upset, as you, all three of you are upset, and rightly so, you should be upset. Whose organs do they want? Certainly from all children, but especially the people who are 16 to 30, and their life is in jeopardy. If they're unconscious and on a ventilator, they're going to get their organs. Everybody who's called brain dead has a beating heart, circulation, and respiration. If they didn't have that, you wouldn't have to call them brain dead. You could call them dead. Brain death.
So, what do y'all think about that? Let me go. Hold on. Let me get her to shut up. Okay, what do y'all think about that? Or North Carolina, whatever. I'm now back where I can see y'all again. Let's see. Joey says, I will never trust them. They're all about money and power. Absolutely. Follow any crime and you will probably see the motive. Follow the money. Always follow the money. Let's see. Joey says the drones are ours. The orbs are alien. I know because I am an alien abductee. They are making themselves known to the world as we speak. I don't doubt that people have had many abduction experiences. As a matter of fact, I hope to have someone on in the next day or two that to talk about that. I'm not saying that that experience isn't real. I don't know if these drones are aliens. Let's see. This is why. Okay. The U.S. government knows this but can't stop it. But then, okay, and I may let you into a conversation I was having with my daughter this morning. Let's see. This was about the lie the government told saying a nuke warhead got smuggled in as a cover story. It could be. Are the aliens here? I don't know. They could be. Joey, I also can't. I can't reconcile whether it is a real alien or if it is Project Bluebeam or something like it, and it's a psyop. And I'll tell you why in a minute. When we get done talking, I'll give you my morning coffee theory that I just shared here at the house. Okay. Okay, Yoli, you're here listening. Good, good. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, this is sick and needs to be stopped. Yeah. Yeah, this whole thing. I've I have long suspected that there were cases that doctors were motivated to give a brain dead analysis or whatever because they needed the organs. Organs, y'all, are very, very profitable. Very profitable. They are sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I don't even know why. They don't pay the family to get the organs. It's like if you have a loved one, if you have a loved one who is in a tragic accident and they are on life support and you know they're not going to ever come out of it, that family, they don't get money. I had a very good friend whose daughter was I had a yeah. I had a very good friend whose daughter tragically died at the age of 20 in a car crash, and she was brain dead. There were a lot of things going on, and she did allow some of her organs to be harvested, which, I mean, in that situation, it was probably the best decision because of other factors, but, she never got a penny. What she got from the hospital was like a $200,000 bill. She never got, so, you know who makes the money on those organs? The doctors and hospitals. That's who makes the money. They're very good money in organ donations. Okay, Joey says, I was taken the first time when I was 6 years old with my parents and then off and on till I was 20. Wow. Wow. 2 years ago, I was taken by a different alien race, and this time I had to go to the hospital the next day and spent 5 days in the hospital, and the other aliens never hurt me like this. Very interesting. The person that is going to come on the show when I hope we're getting this together on Saturday night. He also sent me some pictures of some strange implantation things. His x-rays of some crazy stuff. I'm going to share that with you. But yeah, are there aliens? There's something. I'm not saying that the people who are having these experiences, they're very real. Who and what they are they good? Are they evil? I don't know. It's craziness. I do think, though, that there is every likelihood. I got this weird shadow on my face again. I do think that there is, at this present time, a good reason for it to be a psyop. Let's just take out the whole realness of them. Could they use this as a psyop? Yeah, they sure could. Oh, Samantha says placentas are going for $50,000 each. Wow. See? I'm telling you, it's crazy. And here is the reason I didn't show this video the other day, but I wanted to. Let me get on down here. Oh, this is crazy. Y'all need to. If you want to go down rabbit holes, just get on. Check out my ex. This is really cool. Can I make this bigger for y'all? Let me see. Okay, watch this. This is Project Bluebeam.
Outside the Game Awards 2023.
So look how 3D that is. 3D hologram. Okay, and the reason that I show that is because if you saw something that was like that was 3D, I mean, that was obviously not meant to be believable, okay? That was obviously a show and a very good one. Um, but what if the government was trying to make you believe? What would be the reason? Um, this is very interesting. Yeah, if you wanna go down the rabbit hole, go to my X and then follow some of the people that I follow. But there's one woman, not this one. What is she talking about? Oh, carcinogens. Okay. There's one woman that I didn't show y'all the other day. Where did it go? Because I just showed it to my kids this morning. But it's talking about a psyop. Um, because so many people have had. Where is it, y'all? Where is it? By the way, y'all, if y'all want to see a 20-year-old McDonald's hamburger, this is horrifying. Like basically, it looks the same. Just go watch it. What this sister says is very, very interesting. Um, and there are a couple of possible things. Okay. This is talking about the Vatican getting potentially using Project Bluebeam. Why can I not find this? This is insane to me because it's not her. That's crazy. I can find it on my phone and not on my computer. Let me just zip on down here real quick. Sorry. Don't mean to give y'all a headache. Uh, I'm pretty sure all this is older. Ah, there she is. Okay. Now, I listened to her because she worked with Dr. Werner von Braun. So, listen to what she has to say. Because you have to explore all possibilities.
About why we shouldn't be putting weapons in space. What was most interesting to me was a repetitive sentence that he said to me over and over again during the approximately 4 years that I had the opportunity of working with him. The strategy that Werner von Braun taught me was that first the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in '74, they were the enemy. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over, during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens. And all of it, he said, is a lie.
Okay, the fact that she says that he said all of it is a lie, it's crazy. What made her believable is the fact that she says, yeah, it's going to be first of all the Russians, and we know that happened. And then terrorism, we know that happened, and then these other countries are enemies. These nations of concern. Yeah, we do have that, and then the alien card. It's like it progresses so far. Okay, let me go back to see what you're saying. Joey says the doctors told me that it looked like I fell off a cliff or building. All my organs were bruised and the chemicals in my body were messed up. The doctors said they had never seen this before. Again, I'm not disbelieving you at all. At all. I mean, your experience is very real. And what I'm saying is even going back to before you got here, Joey. We were listening to some things that Ronald Reagan said back in the 80s, back in 1987, when he was saying that basically to get it all together, to get the world all together on one page, like we need an alien invasion. We need a common enemy. So my question is, are these are these drones, orbs, aliens? Is it the real thing, or is it a psyop because they've got a bigger agenda for us? I mean, that's the thing I have to ask. I just I just have to wonder, you know, uh, because there's always a bigger picture. And the reason I say that is because look at the times. You have to take in all of the information. People have been talking about, there have been first person experiences for decades about alien abductions and some things that were completely unexplainable. Um, so I'm not saying that any of that is untrue. What I'm saying is, why now? Why now are the aliens coming? Is it really the aliens, or is it the government with their psyops because they have an agenda? Okay. And if the world wasn't such a mess, the United States is a huge mess. Okay. We're about to, change the changing of the guard again and all this stuff. Okay, y'all want to listen to a really weird, okay, out there, okay, but listen to me because this is thinking outside of the box. You don't have to. I'm not saying I even believe this 100%. I'm just saying this is a possibility. Now, I started thinking about how a few years ago we all had to stay in our houses without saying, y'all know what I'm talking about. We all stayed to ourselves in our houses 4 years ago, almost 5 years ago. And at that time, I have heard many people on different platforms suppose that that was like a trial run to see how people would react. It was an experiment, so to speak, to see how compliant people would be. And I mean, makes sense. If you look at the majority of the countries around the world, I'm not saying that there weren't people who didn't agree in each country, but by and large, other countries did not have problems that the US had. Okay, we had major problems with people speaking out, resisting, saying, I'm not going to do this, blah, 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 being extremely defiant. And that, y'all, is the nature of the United States, okay? Think about it. This country was born in rebellion. We threw the tea in the harbor, like from the very get-go, before we were even a nation, we were rebelling against everything. So you had a lot of people who were compliant, a lot of people who wouldn't have been compliant, but they needed to keep their jobs, so they became compliant. And then you had those who were not going to be compliant, no way, no how. And that was me. So uh, but and I'm like, no judgment, okay, to what you did during that time. People made the best decisions they felt like they could for themselves and their families. But if it was an experiment, so to speak, to see if we were going to comply, the US really failed. And we were the biggest ones who just didn't want to comply with all this stuff. Now, let's go further. At that time, and probably since, a lot of, I'm not going to say all of, but a lot of people who were non-compliant were also Trump supporters, as I was, you know. And I mean, I don't get political on here because let me tell you, I don't trust either side. I don't. I voted. I voted for Trump twice. Do I think that he's the next savior of the world? No, I do not. I do not. It was just the best of a bad situation. Um, but anyway, most of the rebels were also Trumpers. Okay, so now let's just think. What if this happens? So now we have Trump coming back in office with way more support from everyone than ever before, right? He won the not just the electoral college, but he won the popular vote to swing states, the whole 9 yards, okay? Trump really, took it by and large the whole nation. So now you have all these people in Trump's corner. He's about to become president again. I mean, think about it. If we had an alien invasion, and these are just my thoughts, if we had an alien invasion, but it was a psyop because they really want us to go to one world government or something similar or some kind of compliance, you've got the majority of the U.S. supporting Trump. What if Trump said, these are aliens and we need to do this and we need to do that for the safety? How many people are just going to blindly follow that? So that takes out the X factor of the United States not being compliant. What about that? I don't know. I think on all sides, okay? I just think about all possibilities and follow no man blindly, okay? No matter how I hope and pray that Trump is everything that he says that he is and that he does everything that he wants to do. But the truth is, I don't know. I don't know him personally. All I know is we have a long history of government abuse and a long history of the government lying to us. And so I'm like, don't take your thinking hats off, no matter who says what is going on. Always, always dig for truth. You'll find it. Let's see. Let me go back to what y'all are saying. Linda Kay, good to see ya. Yes, it is. It is very freaky. The only reason people did what they did what they were told is because they were scared into it. Yeah. And that could happen. It could happen again. I don't think it's going to be the same thing because we've already done this. Okay? We've already been down this road. Giving us another disease is probably, you're still going to have the same reaction. Let's see. Yes, that is true. I'm not gonna say this out loud. I'm gonna put it right up there. 100%. So they're their own boss, aren't they? Let's see. Samantha says there was a prophecy about the Antichrist appearing as a savior for mankind in the beginning. Also, that he would appear in the political or ruling class arena. Well, people assumed that because they said he was going to rule, but really, that is not what was said. He did. It's true. Every word of prophecy was true, but it didn't happen that way. People assumed that he would have to be like an emperor or whatever in of the world to do that, but his agenda wasn't political. Let's see. Did you ever wonder why, when people saw and videoed UFOs and reported it, we never saw the government respond? They already knew it was an alien ship. Yeah, they probably did. I mean, if you look at, I mean, come on, again, think. We as humans on this planet were mostly agricultural, rural, You always did have cities and kings and kingdoms, but still, for thousands of years, we existed living off the earth, right? We didn't have any craziness. We started in the Industrial Revolution. Okay, we already started getting a little bit more, automated. But if you think about it, America did a huge change. Okay, so for thousands of years, people are kind of, there's always inventions, there's always people coming up with new stuff, and that's to be expected. But all of a sudden, after Roswell, we had so much technology just like boom, 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 boom. It was crazy, right? We all of a sudden discovered infrared, and there were microwaves, and there were all these things that just every time you turned around there was some new wonderful invention. So you're going to tell me after thousands of years of us progressing very slowly that all of a sudden we just got so brilliant so quick that from 50 years from like 1950 to the mid 90s when the internet, was established somewhere around in that time in the 90s. You're telling me in 40 years we went from like basically being plain simple people to all of this technology, and then how much it has rapidly grown to the point of since the 90s now we have AI that what we have available is not what the government has available. Y'all understand they are decades ahead of us. They always have been. Hmm. Did we just really get that smart that fast by ourselves? When we start taking smart pills, we all of a sudden became that much more creative without any inside outside influence or discoveries. Mm, I'm going to say likelihood is no. I don't think we got that smart that fast without something, whether that was alien technology or something else discovered. I just feel like, no, we don't progress that fast, y'all. Earthlings, they're not, we're bright, but we ain't that bright. Uh, if you don't believe it, go to your local Walmart and look at who's in the store with you, and you'll be like, oh my God. Oh, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Um, let's see. Yes, the original fallen angels taught humans about unknown things. That is another thing. And also, Samantha, some people would call fallen angels aliens as well. Which I mean, I guess you would call anything that's not human alien, wouldn't you? Um, they say our skies are protected. That is a lie. Somebody from a sleeper cell can get into a small aircraft with weapons on board and can fly them into wherever they want before they could stop them. Yeah, I mean, they want us to think that we're very protected. But I don't know. But again, this is why I'm saying, is it a psyop? Is this the good time? Is this the timing is really Sachi? Sachi, she's been going nuts. Is this just a good time for the world, politically speaking, or whatever? Is this a good time for an alien invasion? Because I feel like aliens could have done this way before now. Okay. I think if the aliens are that far advanced technologically, then we could have put up no resistance in the past 50 years, 60, whatever, however many years we've been seeing aliens. So why now? There's got to be a reason. I don't think that we just held them off until, or maybe we did. Maybe there was an agreement. Maybe we held them off until we thought, oh, this is a good time for the whole world to come together. Um, uh, so anyway, yeah, good. How to protect against technology more advanced than humans, though. Yeah, very, very. Oh Lord, Lord. Um, AI. I have played around with AI. Some of it I absolutely love. It is so helpful for me in the things that I do. and it is absolutely terrifying at the same time. Um, to the point that now there are certain programs that can make videos of you, like of me and my voice and my mannerisms and my face and all this kind of stuff. They can make a video that looks like I am talking to you. Like, that is insanity. Insanity to me. And it's scary because we're just scratching the surface, y'all. Um, that's what some people uh, have said. The aliens will not let man destroy this planet. I've heard people say that the aliens say that they were here first, and uh, this is actually kind of their planet, and they're not going to let us ruin it. I don't know. I don't know. Yes, Joey says, aliens told me how we came to be. Would you like to know what they said? Of course. Of course I would. Um, what do y'all think? I mean, the more I get into this, the more questions I have, because to me everything revolves around an agenda. So the aliens, the drones, the orbs, whether they're real aliens or a psyop, it is still an agenda. I don't think the aliens just decided, no, now's the time. That's just my opinion. I think the aliens could have done what they wanted to a long time ago. Um, Samantha says, I believe this planet has resources that humans know nothing about. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I mean, we don't even know the kind of technology that they have, what they're using, what they need, and things that may um, not have any value to us may have a lot of value to them, because we don't know. We don't understand how it works. I will say this, though, and I'm not going to give it away, but if any of you people ever watched the old black and white original Twilight Zone, okay? The original Twilight Zone. And you used to go watch it on Netflix. I don't know where it's at now. I haven't watched it in a long time. I love it. Absolutely love it. My daughter says it was the OG Black Mirror, and she's right. It was. But look up an episode, and I think it's within the first 3 seasons. Look up an episode called To Serve Man. Watch it. Because I always, in the back of my head, I'm always thinking. Don't give it away if you've watched it. It's horrifying. It is horrifying. Let's see. Joey says they used primate DNA along with theirs, and that's how we got here. And religion is fake. Jesus was real, but he was half alien, and that was how he did the things he did. I would agree to some extent on this. Jesus being alien, half alien, I would call that true, because he was not. I call alien anything that is not human or species of this planet, okay? Anything. So yes, was he half alien? Yeah, he was. Um let's see, religion, I'll agree with you, religion's fake. I hate religion. Love Jesus. Absolutely love him. But hate religion. Always have. Um and that's how we got the different races of people, by them using different primate DNA. I mean, I don't know. Are we primates? I don't know. I mean, we're not of I mean, we're definitely a different kind. I I don't know how I feel about that. Remember when they used to call some of our DNA was called junk DNA? Well, that was alien DNA. You know? I mean, it was called junk DNA. Um, kind of like our tailbone. Like, why do we have a tailbone? We don't have a tail. It sticks out there. What's it good for? People break it all the time. Um, obviously, it's, it had a purpose at some point. I don't know what I'd do with a tail. I'm glad I don't have one. But you know, is that kind of a junk piece of organ? Probably a junk bones, maybe. Um, does it show something else? I don't know. Because I don't know what kind of aliens. Like, I don't know. That would definitely a scientific question. But do we have things that we don't need? Yeah, they say we used to need them. Um, we're going deep down the rabbit hole when you go into that. I don't have an explanation, honestly, Joey. It could be true. I think most humans have a small amount, Samantha says, of primate in their DNA. However, the negative bloodlines are a whole separate rabbit hole. Yeah, that is a real deep rabbit hole. Um, strangely enough, though, scientists say because they don't replace organs with primate organs or valves and stuff. They say that we are most like pigs. Humans and pigs are the closest. We can have some parts that are kind of interchangeable. So, I don't like to think about that either. Uh, you think they'll fully show themselves within the next 6 months to a year? I don't know. Stephen Greer is saying they're gonna. Well, he's saying the aliens are going to. It's kind of going to be the whole thing. We didn't watch that whole thing because I didn't want a copyright strike, but he basically says in there that the aliens are going to become apparent, and then also, but it's going to also unmask some psyops and some other stuff that our government is doing on, the black operations. It's not called operations. What is it? Well, whatever he was saying, it's like the black part of the government, the dark part that they don't want you to know about, the experimentation and stuff. So, I've seen so many people say it's coming out. It's like that they're going to be saying this. The aliens are here. They're in the sea. They've been here. Lots of people have compelling videos and stuff about that kind of thing too. I don't know. Um, yeah. Well, I didn't wonder why they use pig parts and not chimp parts, Joey, because honestly, because the doctors say that we are more like pigs uh than chimps, but I don't know. What if the really evil people get brought back as pigs? I know some humans, so I'm snorting. I know some human pigs now. Uh, Linda Kay, can you do something about the blood types? You're RH negative. Um, Wow, that would be a whole rabbit hole. Basically, to put it in a nutshell, Linda Kay, they say that people with RH negative blood types are an alien from an alien bloodline. Um, if you want to just encapsulate it, there's all kind of theories about who, what, where, when, why. But basically, they're saying it is that. And, it's weird. It's so weird because the first time, it's bizarre. This never happens. First time I was tested for my blood type, my mom didn't know. And I was in college and I went to have this blood test done. I first tested RH negative, and I went home and I told my mom, "Oh, I got my blood type today." And uh, she said, "Really? Well, what are you?" And I said, "I am O negative." That's what they told me. And she had a fit because she said, "No, I would have had more problems, being pregnant with you if you had been negative." And I'm like, "I don't know. They just told me I was negative." And I didn't even know. This was not when I was in nursing school. Now, when years later, when I went to nursing school, I realized it is a big deal. It really is. Now I always test O positives. I'm the most common blood type that there is, which is really kind of good news because guess what? If I need blood, there's a lot of source. Okay. I'm not unhappy about that. I don't think you're special because you have a weird blood type. I think you're in trouble. Um, but RH negative, although I will say this, Linda Kay, you are a universal donor. Um, well, O is a universal, yeah. RH negative is a universal donor. Very interesting. But yeah, that's what they say. Okay, I don't know if that's true. I don't worry about alien bloodlines, but that is a whole lot of people give a lot of scientific reasons for that. Um, Samantha says, I think that RH negatives have more alien DNA. This is, wait, what did you say? This is the many, many differences. Yeah, it is very different. So you're O negative, Linda. Wow. That's what I was first. But you don't go from negative to positive. So how did they get, because it wasn't like it was mislabeled. They had a lab like right there at the school, the college that I was going to. So you were tested and you got to watch the process of what they were looking for and how things interacted. And that's when they told me I was negative. But then a few years later, when I went to donate blood, they told me I was O positive. So I'm like, what happened? What happened? All of a sudden, I don't have alien DNA. um, yeah, that's the thing. What Samantha is saying, it was very hard. Uh, Back in the days when they really didn't have shots, to fix that problem with RH negative and babies and positive mothers, there was a big problem with that, with babies not being so incompatible. Okay, with the blood types, they do have uh, a good fix for that now. However, makes you wonder, what kind of shot? Like, what's in there? Do they have? How did they get that shot? No, there you go. And there's another rabbit hole. Is there alien DNA in that shot? I don't know. Y'all, RH negative people, tell me. Um, it's very interesting. I literally have met many people who are RH negative that I couldn't tell them from any other person on the planet. So it's not like they wear a sign, but that is what, going down the rabbit hole, you're going to find stuff like that. So anyway, all right. What do y'all think? What do you think? Let me ask y'all. Type in here. What was the most disturbing piece of news that you saw tonight? Um, if I had to, I don't even know. We've talked about the portals the Vatican is opening. We've, of course, talked about the drones. We've talked about some body parts, what brain dead means and what it doesn't. We've talked about the carcinogens in our food that the government absolutely knows is causing cancer and still allowing. What else did we talk about? I can't even remember now. We talked about my theory of my theory of world compliance. We talked about Reagan, what he was saying. Is the alien invasion a psyop? Is it real? A lot of RH negatives have red hair. Yeah, yeah, as do I. Mine is more auburn. It's really hard to tell on camera anyway because the colors are so not right. Like my shirt is a very deep red. It's crimson. Um, but uh I don't know. I don't know. That is true. I've heard though, Linda Kay, that a lot of um, RH negative people, aliens, whatever, y'all alien RH negatives, are often have very pale skin and very blue eyes. I don't know. I have heard that about either red or blonde hair. So, what is horrifying to you? Put all of this up against AI, and I'm still going to tell you AI is the most terrifying thing, and we didn't even really talk about that tonight. But yeah. Anyway, we've been talking for a long time, so I'm going to let y'all go. Enjoy your Saturday night. I will be back with you. I'm planning on what is today? See, I'm so confused because I'm not at work. I think it's the weekend, but it's not. I have to work tomorrow. Saturday, I plan to be back with you. Aw, thank you, Joey. That's sweet. That's sweet. I'd like to hear your story too. Um, but yeah, we're going to be talking, if I can get it together, we're going to be talking to someone who about his alien abduction experience and let him have the floor and explain. I know I don't have to say this to my regular people because y'all are wonderful. No matter who is saying what, y'all have always been the best. But look, if you disagree for whatever reason, like be kind, be nice, be respectful. Um, so anyway, uh, yeah, maybe we need a good alien invasion. Alien invasion. Uh, it's better than a demonic portal for Christmas. I don't know. All right. Oh, bye, Yoli. I love you all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will talk to you on Saturday, most likely. Whatever you do, watch out for aliens, guard your DNA, and stay silky, y'all. Bye bye.